Simon Schmidt Funeral Home, we strive to meet your emotional needs with compassion, kindness, and understanding. The caring staff at O. Simon Schmidt Funeral Home recognizes the importance of celebrating a life that was lived with dignity, respect, and professionalism, serving local families in their special time of need for generations. O. Simon Schmidt Funeral Home, Rapid City. Phone 343-0077 or visit osimschmidt.com.
Black Hills Urgent Care wants you to know they're committed to providing exceptional care for you and your family during this time. Whether it's urgent care or primary care, they offer convenient telemedicine services where you can visit with your provider remotely from your phone or computer. But if you need to come in, their clinics are safe and clean. With 2 locations on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road, open 7 days a week, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Black Hills Urgent Care is here to care for this community. To avoid the wait, just schedule online at bhucare.com.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City. This is the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City. No.
NFL making a change tonight for what's happening Sunday night in the NFL. The league today switching the Buccaneers-Raiders game from a Sunday night affair on NBC to a 4:05 Eastern time kick on Fox. So the Seahawks-Cardinals game that was supposed to be in that time slot on Fox at 4:05 Eastern now moves to the Sunday night game on NBC. 2 games are switched to make sure that there was a Sunday night football game as the Raiders are dealing with COVID issues, specifically tackle Trent Brown, who was placed on the COVID reserve list yesterday, and the Raiders reportedly putting the rest of the starting offensive line also on the reserve list because of possible exposure. Giants and Eagles tonight, coverage on Fox at 7:30 Eastern time to start Week 7. Giants could get wide receiver Sterling Shepard back on the field after he was activated off the injured reserve list. Vikings defensive end Danielle Hunter having season-ending back surgery. Ravens today acquired defensive end Yannick Ngakoue from Minnesota for a 3rd-round pick and a conditional 5th-rounder in 2022. I'm Dan Byer.
This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, live interviews, and local sports. Exclusively on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM, Fox Sports Rapid City. And streaming online right now at foxsportsrapidcity.com. From the biggest national names to the hottest local stories, welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
Well, good Thursday afternoon. Welcome in. It's always a great day in the Black Hills, and I welcome you into the Fox Sports Rapid City studio, downtown Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, the Nate Brown Show live, 106.7 FM, 1150 AM. Thanks for listening there. A little chilly here on this Thursday, huh? A little slick in places, so everybody hit it right between the running lights today, okay? Stay in your own lane. Let's have a good Thursday out there. And we got a great Thursday show lined up. The Nate Brown Show brought to you in part by Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center since 1976. They're not messing around. This is the team that's been local and the expert team when it comes to orthopedic care. If you want to continue your active lifestyle, don't let an injury slow you down. See the experts. When it comes to orthopedic care, you have a choice. Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com. Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, helping the weekend warrior to the elite athlete. Let's get into it. Tonight, I've got Ephraim Salaam on the way, NFL veteran, Fox Sports Radio host, FS1 NFL analyst. Ephraim Salaam will break down the NFL weekend that's ahead. We'll also jump into this. 2 things here. Vikings, big news day today with the Vikings. I've got Vikings writer for the Daily Norseman in the Twin Cities, Eric Thompson. He'll break some things down. It's a big story, a couple of stories with the Vikings, and I think an ongoing story. We'll get to that. Also on the Broncos front, Broncos-Chiefs. If the Broncos somehow won this weekend, what would that mean for a Broncos organization, for a quarterback like Drew Lock? What would that mean? I'm not telling you it's going to happen, but this could be the week that might turn some heads if that happened. I mean, that would turn some heads. Ryan O'Halloran, Broncos beat writer for the Denver Post. He'll join us live straight ahead as the Broncos get set to host the Chiefs. Also, we going to do something different right now. We're going to do something different. Normally, I go with Brown's Best, right? Brown's Best, especially if we're off on a Friday because of high school play-by-play, which we have tomorrow. St. Thomas More, Redfield, 5 o'clock kickoff tomorrow. So Brown's Best, we got to move it to a Thursday, and it's not necessarily Brown's Best today. I'm going to run through the games. It might be Brad's Best. We're going to start something new here with a guest right out of the gate. In our opening monologue, I'm going to turn it into a tag team here. Brad Powers, college football NFL handicapper from Las Vegas. BradPowersSports.com, where you can find his work, and he's going to give us some picks. Brad Powers joins us right away on a Thursday on Fox Sports Rapid City. Brad, thanks for coming on, man. How are you?
Hey, appreciate you having me on, and I look forward to the segment here.
All right, I like it. So I want to jump into some stuff, man. You've done some Mountain West over the years. You've done some of this. So now everybody's back, and we're kind of getting into this COVID surge across the country. So we'll see how it goes with the Big Ten, the Mountain West, some of these teams. I'm going to start, though, in the Big Ten. I'm going to start with this game that I don't know how it's going to go. I've had Ohio State alums this week tell me, this might be closer than the spread. Vegas has Ohio State 26-point favorites the last time I checked. Ohio State against the Huskers. How do you see it, Brad?
Yeah, I lean Nebraska plus the 26. And even though, I'll say this, Ohio State's obviously owned Nebraska since the Huskers joined the Big Ten. The Buckeyes are 5-1 with an average win by 27.5 points per game. But in this instance, this is just me going with a gut instinct. It's been pretty relatively quiet nationally in Lincoln the last month. And to me, that's a good thing. After a couple years of high expectations and the Huskers not meeting those expectations, I think Nebraska gives Ohio State a game, at least enough to come in under the number.
How high are you on Ohio State? People are saying they're national championship contenders, right? Do you just think, hey, first game, some new guys in some spots? What's the story?
So in the summer, I had Ohio State number one. That's how highly I think of Ohio State. But I think at this point, you got to give the benefit of the doubt to Clemson and Alabama, who we've seen play multiple games and actually play well and exceed Vegas expectations so far. So I'd probably put them in that 3 slot, but just barely behind Clemson and Alabama. But I think Ohio State's certainly legitimate and deservedly deserves that praise as far as legitimate national title contender.
Brad, are the Huskers going to take some strides? We've been waiting for it. Are they going to take some strides?
I'm not sure that, if you're focused on wins and losses this year, oh my goodness, I don't know if it's going to be the year for that. Because, let's look at their first 4 games. At Ohio State, Wisconsin at home, at Northwestern, who I think is very improved, Penn State, 1-3 maybe in the first 4. And then maybe you can make some moves. I'll tell you this. If Scott Frost gets the Huskers to 4-4, I know that's not going to move the needle in your neck of the woods, but it'd move the needle here. 4-4, at least on the games that are currently scheduled, I think would be progress.
Your play would be the Huskers plus the 26. Huskers plus the 26. I've been burned by that before with the Huskers. You know that. All right, Big Ten. Here's one I can't quite figure out. I lean Michigan. Which way do you see? Michigan -3 at Minnesota. People are thinking, Brad, okay, Minnesota, were they just a one-year type of team? What is your take on this matchup?
Well, that's a good take there because I normally like to fade the historical outliers. Winning 11 games in Minnesota is certainly an outlier. I want to take the Gophers, though, here, but I'll tell you what gives me trepidation and pause and why I'm not going to bet Minnesota. It was P.J. Fleck kind of hinting towards maybe possible COVID, the positives, so maybe multiple players might be out for Minnesota. That gives me pause, and I'll tell you what I'll end up betting. I'm going to bet the under. I don't think that the national market, and we can say a national market now with multiple states having legalized sports betting, I don't think they fully grasp at this point in time how cold and how blustery it's going to be on Saturday night. With temperatures, kickoff temperatures in the 20s. I'm going to go under 54.5, Michigan and Minnesota.
That's the play, under 54.5. That's the play. I do have a grasp of how cold it's going to be, Brad. You might know that. We're living it right now up here.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So Minnesota going to be a little chilly Saturday night. So you go under the total points number, and that game will be interesting. Michigan, a 3-point favorite. Want to go to the Mountain West. Wyoming in action. You know we like the Pokes here. Wyoming's 4.5-point favorites. A lot of people think they might contend for the Mountain West title, but I want to hear from an objective viewer. Wyoming at Nevada.
Yeah, Boise State's clear-cut favorite. I mean, that's not going to make national news, but I mean, on a pure neutral field, I'd have Boise State, at least a 10-point favorite of the second-best team in the Mountain West. Who is that second-best team?
Yeah.
Wyoming's certainly in the mix with San Diego State and Air Force, who was very impressive in their game. I would put Wyoming certainly in that mix that can be at least second-best on a neutral in the Mountain West. A lot of money has come in on Wyoming in this game to the point where, I can't recommend laying 4.5. I think Nevada is going to be improved, but obviously the concern with Nevada this week is Jay Norvell, their head coach, has temporarily left the team after his father passed away this week. I mean, obviously that's a negative for them. I do like, the fact that all 5 starters are back on the offensive line for Wyoming. I like their ground game. I like the Chambers back at quarterback and once again healthy. Lean Pokes for me, but not a strong play.
We got a strong play from you a couple of weeks ago. You went with Kentucky. That was a great play. So I'm going to ask you in the college football world, what's a Brad Powers strong play in Vegas this weekend?
I like Pitt against Notre Dame, plus the 10. A little bit of money showed on Pitt today. You could have gotten 10.5. Obviously, that would have been better, but I still like Pitt. I like Pitt so much that I think they can beat Notre Dame outright. But I'll just take the plus 10 at this point. And to me, I just think they match up well with Notre Dame. They have historically. I mean, 10 of the last 12 meetings decided by 8 points or less. Specifically this season, Pitt's strength is the defensive line. Notre Dame's strength is the offensive line. I think they cancel each other out. And I like Pitt's ability to be able to guard the Notre Dame wide receivers who just haven't been able to get separation. On top of it, I think Pitt's underrated. They've lost 3 games in a row, but 2 of them were by a single point. And I was okay with what I saw with their performance against Miami last week. I think Notre Dame's overrated. Who in the heck is Notre Dame beat? 3-16 is the record for their 4 teams that they played so far against FBS competition. I like Pitt plus 10 against the Irish.
Brown's Best with Brad Powers, college football NFL handicapper from Vegas. Find him there, bradpowersports.com. Also on Twitter. Good stuff, a good follow at Brad Powers 7. Let's go to the NFL while I have you, and I'll let you run a few games. Let's knock it down. Here's an ugly one, but I don't know which way. The pick'em. Cowboys at Washington. Cowboys at Washington. It's a pick'em, so you tell me who's going to win.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I just had a big bet on the Cowboys on Monday Night Football, and I could tell you this. I felt so good pregame. Here's why. I took Dallas plus 3. The Cowboys closed a 1-point favorite. If you beat the closing line in the NFL by 4 points, you should take a bow. Problem is that taking bows don't pay. Beating a closing line doesn't pay at the window, and certainly that was as ugly as it gets. And speaking of ugly, the Cowboys are 0-6 against the spread. Nobody's done that in the NFL. Well, the Jets have this year as well. But I'll tell you, those two teams doing that this year, nobody's done that in like 5-6 years in the NFL. That's how bad it's been for Dallas and the Jets. I guess I trust Washington more to pick themselves off the mat. They went for the win last week. I think there's some unrest in Dallas. I will take the Redskins to beat the Cowboys.
Brad Powers on Talking NFL. Let's look at this one. I don't know about it. People don't think the Patriots are that good. They get beat by my Broncos last weekend, and the Patriots are back at home this week. Patriots are favored against the 49ers. What's going on here? What the Patriots -2? That doesn't seem right.
Well, keep in mind, New England hasn't lost 3 straight games since 2002. When they are coming off back-to-back losses, this is their record, 9-0. And they win the games by 20 points per game, and they're 7-2 against the spread, covering by 13 points per game. I know that they've been historically bad, but really have they? I mean, I know they're 2-3. They lost at the goal line in Seattle. I mean, Cam gains one more yard. That's a win over an unbeaten Seattle team. They don't have Cam on the road against Kansas City. You watch that game. If you put a healthy Cam Newton into that lineup, that is going to be a game against Kansas City. And then last week, I think everyone's throwing him in the trash after what happened a week ago against Denver. I'm not. I'm taking the Pats -2.
You are. Pats -2. That seemed odd to me. I think the 49ers seem good now. I don't know. We'll see. Jimmy G, by the way, the 49ers revisiting New England there. So my Broncos are at home. They're 9.5-point dogs in Denver. You don't see it very often, but it's the Chiefs. I like the Broncos defense. I really do. Chiefs -9.5. What do you go there?
I lean Denver plus the 9.5. I agree. I like Denver's defense here. But speaking of defense, I think Kansas City's defense gets overlooked. Why? Because Mahomes and the offense gets the headlines. And here's what I really like. While I lean Denver, I like and have bet, and it's my favorite NFL play of the week. I bet this a couple days ago, the under. Here's why. Current forecast, 17 degrees, a half foot of snow. I mean, you can always play it back on Sunday if the weather's not as bad as what you expect. But if you want to get ahead of a line move right now, under 45.5 Kansas City, Denver. Looks like weather is going to play a significant factor.
I'll tell you, when you Vegas guys see that weather up here, you're running. You are running, Brad. When you see that weather get cold up here, you're running to the window to hit the under. They're not used to snow down there. By the way, last one, Aaron Rodgers. Has he been able to bounce back? Typically, the Packers are 3.5-point favorites at a rough Houston team.
Yeah, I'm not anxious to, run to the window, sort of say, to bet the lay the 3.5, but that's what I would do here. I do expect Rodgers to bounce back after, that's one of his worst performances in years. The fact 0 touchdowns and 2 interceptions, specifically considering what he had done prior to that. Houston is playing better, certainly under their interim coach Cornell on offense. So I'm going to lean Green Bay -3.5, and I'm also going to lean over the total.
But how about that? A play in the NFL, the under for the Chiefs Broncos from Brad Powers, and the under for Michigan Minnesota on a Saturday night in the Big Ten. Cold weather in the upper Midwest. Brad Powers is in Vegas. What temperature? Just give me the temperature, Brad. Well, what's the temperature?
Right. Yeah, I think it's upper 80s today. Although we're going to feel that. Yeah, we're going to feel it on Monday. I think the high is supposed to be 58. I mean, we haven't seen that here in a long time. I mean, you want to talk about breaking out the parkas, 58 here after we've had a record high summer as far as temperatures. Yeah, that's going to feel really cold.
Put
it that way.
We hope to see 58 again sometime soon. I'm going to get him back on. We started the show with him. College football, NFL handicapper. Gives us some great picks at Brad Powers 7. That's on Twitter. Find him there, BradPowersSports.com. Brad, great stuff, man. Thanks a lot.
Really appreciate you having me on. Take care.
You bet. Brad Powers live from Las Vegas, college football, NFL handicapper, BradPowersSports.com. Live from Vegas and on Twitter at BradPowers7. Brown's Best getting started on a Thursday. A little switcheroo, a little curveball for you. I had the expert on. I'm not the expert, but I do like picking games. I don't know what to tell you about the Huskers, Ohio State. I don't know what to tell you about that one. I've got conflicting information. Ohio State folks are telling me it's going to be a little tight. Then I just had Brad Powers tell me, the Huskers are going to cover within that 26-point window. I got to tell you, I follow the Huskers like you. Last year scared me. Last season scared me. The Huskers couldn't do a thing. I mean, it was ugly. As far as covering the number and keeping it close or winning games they should, that last season was ugly. So I'm not going to jump into the fray there. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Starting on a Thursday, I'm not even going to jump into the fray. Huskers at Ohio State, that's why I leave it to the experts. See how I did that? Brad Powers, though, is taking plus 26. He's taking the Huskers plus the points. The one I do like in Brown's Best in the college football lineup is that Michigan-Minnesota game. I think the Wolverines get that done. And this is just me saying, hey, Minnesota, great season last year, and I think that program is rolling. I don't think that's a farce. I don't think it's a flash in the pan totally. They're going to win 10, 11 games every year, though. They just aren't. I mean, P.J. Fleck, I think, is the guy, but the Gophers aren't going to win that many. Michigan's a 3-point favorite. I think the Wolverines will get that done, right? It just feels to me like the Wolverines get that done. Jim Harbaugh's going to go into Minnesota and potentially lose or have a really tight game against the Gophers. I think Michigan's going to get that done. On the NFL side, the one I do like, Packers minus 3.5 at Houston. Packers minus 3.5 at Houston. Again, seems a little odd that the number's that low. I know they're on the road, but Houston, come on now. And, well, they were competitive last week. They should have won. They were playing well. I think the Packers bounce back with Aaron Rodgers kind of ticked off after last week against the Buccaneers. So I'll go Packers minus 3.5. And I think I like the 49ers plus 2 at the Patriots. Well, Patriots haven't lost 3 games in a row since 20 years ago. Well, guess what? Tom Brady's not there anymore. I hate to break the news to everybody. I hate to break the news. That's one of those things. Cam Newton doesn't even really look that healthy to me. Broncos defense stifled him in a big way. So a couple of NFL plays for me. 49ers plus 2 at New England. I think the 49ers could win that outright. And I'll go Packers minus 3.5 at Houston. And you're asking me, Nate, what about the Broncos? Plus 9.5 at home. You think the Broncos will keep it close? Will they keep it close? It's kind of like the Broncos scare me like the Huskers have scared me. You know, it's feast or famine. All of a sudden, the Broncos can play with anybody. Then all of a sudden, they just get their doors blown off. I don't know about that 9.5-point underdog scenario for the Broncos at home against the Chiefs. That's tough. I'll ask Ryan O'Halloran, the Denver Broncos beat writer. He's going to join us later. A busy show on a Thursday just getting started, and we're going to come back with the biggest NFL news of the day and my reaction, because there's a lot of questions now in Minnesota. Next.
You're listening to the only live and local sports talk show in the Black Hills, The Nate Brown Show, on FoxSportsRapidCity.com and live on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
At Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well-maintained tire and speed shop, over-the-top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair is your local hail damage repair specialist with over 20 years of experience restoring cars to their pre-hail condition. Don't lose 30% of your resale value by having a body shop repaint it. Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair offers better resale value, has quick turnaround, and includes a lifetime guarantee on their work. The guys at Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair are trusted locals with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, offering free estimates and are conveniently located downtown. Remember them when it hails.
Jeremy with Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, inviting you to kickstart your morning by dropping by and grabbing some fresh donuts. I want to thank you for voting us the best in the Black Hills in 2020. We're up early making your favorite donuts, so stop by and bring some to the office. Everybody loves Jerry's Cakes and Donuts, and we love you, so stop by, get a great selection to brighten up your day. Serving Rapid City for over 40 years, Jerry's Cakes and Donuts at 109 East Omaha, and remember to like Jerry's on Facebook for some great giveaways.
Fall is in the air. It's time to start thinking about winter driving, and we've got you covered. Over 100 pre-owned vehicles to shop from, one owner, and local trade-ins. A vehicle under warranty more your speed? The best new cars make the best used cars. Buy a certified Toyota and get peace of mind. We have new hybrids arriving daily. Save money at the pump without compromising on power or safety. Check out the Toyota Highlander, one of our most in-demand vehicles. Lease now with zero down for $469 a month for 36 months. See you soon at Denny Manholt Toyota, Rapid City. Not all buyers will qualify. See dealer for details.
Hi, I'm Bill at WireFree USA, your local internet experts. Have you been frustrated by your internet when trying to help school your children? Have you been frustrated by your internet while trying to do your work from home? Are you suffering breakdowns, shout fests, and gray hair? Well, suffer no more. WireFree USA will help you solve your problems. WireFree USA is high-speed fiber internet, high-speed microwave point-to-point internet, high-speed satellite internet, and high-speed internet through cell towers. WireFree USA offers more solutions and more locations than the other local companies. Whether it is city or rural, WireFree USA can help you solve your problems and wishes. Call WireFree USA at 605-343-3806 or stop into our showroom at 680 North Lacrosse Street, Rapid City. The future is WireFree USA, 605-343-3806. Ask any expert. The future is a WireFree USA, 605-343-3806.
The doctors and staff at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center have provided expert bone, joint, and muscle care to patients in the Black Hills area since 1976. Whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just want to continue your active lifestyle, the orthopedic experts at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center will help you stay in the game. Don't let an injury keep you from doing the things you love. Trust the team at Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center, specializing in what moves you. Learn more at bhosc.com.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in on the Thursday show, the Nate Brown Show Live. We were going to be off today because we were getting ready for high school playoff football, right? So a lot of the games getting moved. St. Thomas More Redfield was happening here on Fox Sports Rapid City today, but now it got moved to tomorrow. We'll have the 6th seed St. Thomas More against the 11th seed Redfield. 11B playoff football tomorrow night, 5 o'clock. Start our pregame coverage about 4:45. So we're locked and loaded on the Nate Brown Show, Rapid City Sports Talk Show on a Thursday. Coming up, Ephraim Salam, NFL veteran, Fox Sports Radio national host. He's on tap. One of the all-time great Rapid City Rush players going to join us today. A little secret. Secret, yes. We're going to have him coming up. Former Rush captain. The longest tenured Rush captain, right, in the history of the team. He's coming up. Broncos beat writer Ryan O'Halloran breaking down Broncos Chiefs, and Vikings beat writer Eric Thompson from the Twin Cities. Let's start with the Vikings here. 720-1067 is our number. You can join the show anytime on the Boss Pizza and Chicken Sports Line Live. Also, the Barons Wilson text line, 605-720-1067. See how that works? 1067 FM. It's easy to remember that way. Direct text the show on the Barons Wilson listener text line, 720-1067. So, big news out of Minnesota today, and it was so fitting, the question of the day yesterday. I mean, I didn't know any of this stuff was going to happen, obviously, but I had a big discussion yesterday for like an hour about the Vikings. Can you believe that? Discussing the Vikings with some folks that you trust for an hour, and I was trusting their judgment. I was talking through it, and they were talking about how the Vikings will be just fine, and this was before the news that happened today. Well, in case you've missed it, you're just getting in your car, driving careful on this cool Thursday in the Black Hills. The Vikings have a couple of headlines here. Yannick Ngakoue got traded to the Baltimore Ravens. It happened pretty early this morning. Here's the thing. Ngakoue was picked up by the Vikings just this year, right? So you start thinking things through here and saying, okay, if the Vikings are in good shape, what are they doing here? Well, it's clear what they're doing now, right? So it was fitting. What we were discussing yesterday on the show a little bit is two of the favorite teams in this area. I'm not saying you all are this or you all are that, but two of the favorite teams in South Dakota are the Vikings and the Broncos. And so it was interesting, the discussion we were having, who's in better shape right now? My argument has been the Broncos. I've had some people argue, no, the Vikings. And it tells me today the Vikings have now entered rebuild mode. I never thought I'd see that. From an NFC championship appearance just a few years ago to an NFC divisional playoff round, okay, beating the Saints, getting to play the 49ers just last year. Just last year, right? So I never thought I'd see anything like that. That the next year, the Vikings would be in sell-off mode. The Vikings would be rebuild mode. Something happened along the way here, and you're going to say, well, what happened, Nate? They went 1-5. They are 1-5. That is a problem. But I'm surprised that they basically now, they're saying, okay, we got to get some value. We're out of the running. We got to try and build this thing up a little bit. And I am surprised. I do believe that the Vikings fans deserve better than that. I do believe Vikings fans deserve better than, well, sorry, yeah, I guess we kind of messed up here. And that's what they're saying today. The Vikings are admitting that they messed up. They really are. The Vikings are saying, okay, Yannick Ngakoue, we traded for him. The Vikings, get this. Why I say messed up? Here's one example. Vikings gave a second-round pick, okay? A second-round pick to get Yannick Ngakoue, the defensive end. He's had a pretty good season. 5 sacks in 6 games. I mean, I'd take that, right? What did they have to do today? They basically flipped it for a third-round pick. They basically flipped it. So you had a situation where they had a second-round pick that they had to give up, and now they got a third-round pick for Yannick Ngakoue? When it comes down to it, now they're telling you, we may have to do more. We may have to do even more. Now you look at it. Rick Spielman talked today, the general manager of the Minnesota Vikings, Rick Spielman. Here's what he had to say about people asking him, are you in rebuild mode? Are you in rebuild mode? He said this, we have 2 good wide receivers. We have a good running back. And he didn't really answer the question. He finished off with, I don't have any doubt that Kirk Cousins is also going to be able to rally. I don't think anyone has lost any faith in Kirk Cousins. That's what Rick Spielman, the general manager of the Minnesota Vikings, have said. And I can hear Vikings fans laughing. Okay? I can hear Vikings fans laughing. Are you laughing at this? Listener text coming in, 720-1067 on the Barron's Wilson text line. If they feel Ngakoue is not right for the Vikings, cut their losses and let him go. No, and the difference being, maybe he wasn't quite right, but Ngakoue wanted to go to a winner. He was already at a loser, the Jaguars. Ngakoue, 5 sacks in 6 games. The Vikings have messed up along the way. That's why I say the Vikings fans deserve better than this. They've messed up along the way. The salary cap has been a major issue. They have rookies at cornerbacks just trying to break these guys in. And they wouldn't admit. You know where they got caught? They got caught right in the middle, like my Denver Broncos. They got caught in the middle. What's it called? No man's land. John Elway would not admit for a while that he was trying to rebuild. He would not go and get offensive rookie talent. He finally did now. But there wasn't an admission, well, we got to do some things here to save up some money. We got to make sure we're planning here as we go along, because the Vikings, they still wanted to compete and still try and fill some of the biggest positions with guys that just aren't ready. Now they're 1-5, and now they have to figure out a plan on the fly. So you tell me what's happened. Rick Spielman, is he right when he says today, I don't think anyone has lost any faith in Kirk Cousins? Is that what you think? I've heard from Vikings fans. Vikings fans have lost faith in Kirk Cousins. Has the team? Well, according to Rick Spielman, no. My question for you, now that you see the Vikings, Danielle Hunter says he's out for the year, so he just announced that today. He's got a herniated disc, so he's on an injury situation. So you're getting rid of Ngakoue. Big mistake was giving up a second round to get him. Now you were only able to get a third round. So they lost those picks. They lost an entire round to get 6 games out of Yannick Ngakoue in a no-win situation in a season. These things add up. You end up in no man's land. Are we going to compete? Are we going to rebuild? What are we going to do? You tell me who should be in charge of rebuilding and getting this team back up to speed. I didn't think they would fall this quickly. Rick Spielman? Mike Zimmer? That's my question. I'm serious about this. Should Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer be in charge of this rebuild? I'll ask Eric Thompson of the Vikings DailyNorseman.com live from the Twin Cities next.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show. Remember to follow us on Twitter @NateBrownShow and like us on Facebook by searching Fox Sports Rapid City.
Black Hills Community Bank wants you to know that now may be the best time to refinance, purchase, or even build a brand new home. With rates this low, Black Hills Community Bank is well positioned to be your local partner. They are your home loans bank with local originators underwriting, processing, and closings. They challenge themselves to close every loan on time. This may be the time to think about home ownership or refinancing with Black Hills Community Bank in Rapid City and Spearfish. Online at bhcbank.com. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Collins Siding has been the region's premier window siding, door, and gutter installation specialist since 1974. They use only the highest quality materials and never compromise on their workmanship. Collins Siding is licensed, bonded, and their estimates always include labor, materials, and applicable permits and taxes. Collins Siding has been providing top quality service and exceeding high standards for over 45 years, and you can find out how by visiting them at 2016 Cherry Avenue. Collins Siding, 2016 Cherry Avenue, Rapid City.
At Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well-maintained tire and speed shop, over-the-top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
Blah, no tricks, just a sweet Halloween treat from Star Spangled Batter Bakery. All 12 and younger kids in costume get a free cupcake between 3 and 5 p.m. on Halloween. Star Spangled Batter will also be serving free apple cider and hot chocolate on the 31st with harvest-themed items for sale too. And on top of all that, Star Spangled Batter will be celebrating their 3rd anniversary with free raffle for a chance to win a dozen Grinch cupcakes. They'll be looking for you at Star Spangled Batter Bakery, 2130 Jackson Boulevard, Rapid City.
Dave always wore the same gray shirt to work every day. Monday through Friday, gray, gray, gray. Then one day, Dave decided to switch things up and wear that Hawaiian shirt his mother gave him. And that's when Wendy in accounting took notice. You can make a difference when you switch things up too. Switch and save an average of $536 by calling your local State Farm agent today.
To switch and save on your auto insurance, call State Farm agent Matt McCormick in Rapid City.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
Boss Pizza and Chicken know that sometimes you just need some awesome comfort food. And right now, Boss is taking things seriously in how they're serving their great pizza and roasted chicken with their new no-contact delivery. Just ask when you call in your order, and they'll leave your pizza right on your doorstep. Nobody has the selection of pizza like Boss Pizza and Chicken. Take the day off from cooking and get the good stuff from Boss. Order online at bosspizzaandchicken.com or call 399-BOSS. That's 399-BOSS.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Welcome back in Rapid City Sports Talk Show, the Nate Brown Show live. Join us wherever you may be, on your phone, computer, tablet, and of course here, 106.7 FM, 1150 AM. So it's a radio show first, right? But you can get us anywhere now, basically. YouTube channel, we just launched that. It's been great. Thanks for watching there. You can also check us out at Twitter, at Nate Sports Guy. At Nate Sports Guy. Good follow. for the show, for some, I don't know. I'm pretty nice to everybody. I mean, I'm not one of those Twitter morons, right? Okay. Well, don't answer that. I think we're okay. Eric Thompson joins us. DailyNorseman.com. DailyNorseman.com. They've been busy today. He covers the Vikings from the Twin Cities. Eric Thompson back on the Nate Brown Show. I just did a segment, Eric, and I want to run through a lot of things with you. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm always entertained by that team that I cover. It's never a boring time when you're covering the Vikings.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a bye week. I mean, this is boring, all right? Bye week. Just take it easy, guys. So here's what I got to say. Last year, they make it to the divisional round. I mean, they beat the Saints. They go to the 49ers. They lose that game. That's fine. It wasn't so long ago they were in the NFC Championship. So this is a team, I've said, that had a window to compete, and I felt like they were. And now they've entered this year 1-5. A few balls bounce this way and that way. It might be a little different, but now we seem like we're in such a different area with this organization. How did it happen so quickly?
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's crazy to think. I mean, you're a few bounces away, even after the terrible loss at home to Atlanta last Sunday. I mean, they could have been 3-2 heading into that game pretty easily. I mean, with a couple 1-point losses, but it was always going to be really difficult to balance with all the new people they had, all the draft picks that they kind of thrust into the fold right away. It was always a danger of becoming a rebuild, and I think we've seen with the moves made today by the Vikings that it's pretty much in full-on rebuild mode. Whether or not Rick Spielman will say the word, I think that's where they are. They're they're trading off assets they traded for less than 2 months ago, and they're putting players on IR. So it's pretty bleak. And yeah, you talked about the window. It seems to be shutting at least on a certain core group. You hope that the Vikings can bring a few over and kind of retool for next year. But with their current cap situation, it's really hard to see a clear path forward for the team.
Eric Thompson, Vikings writer, DailyNorseman.com, great site for the Vikings. Rick Spielman said this: Kirk Cousins is going to rally. I don't think anyone has lost any faith in Kirk Cousins. He has to say it, but how many people have lost faith?
Well, the only way you haven't lost at least a little faith in Cousins is if you didn't have any to begin with, because that game, I mean, he's had a couple just absolute clunkers, and it seems, and I do think he'll bounce back. He's going to play well. We've seen this over the course of his career. Even after really terrible games, he tends to, put up decent numbers. He'll put together a good game if the situation is correct for him. And he's had good games this season already. I mean, you can't really put any of the Titans game on Kirk Cousins, but he put up plenty of numbers there. And, throughout a decent chunk of the Seattle game, he played well, but outside of that, 21-point run they had with a couple turnovers. So it's there. It's just not there consistent enough for someone that you're paying that much. And it's to say that you haven't lost at least a little faith in him. I think it's again, what is the GM going to say? He's not going to come out and say, "Oh, hey, we don't believe in our quarterback anymore." But I know at least throughout all the Vikings fans that I know, the faith is at least down if they had any to begin with.
We just had a Vikings fan project the Vikings go 4-12. He threw out some wins against some teams here, Dallas and a couple others. 4-12. I don't know where that gets you, so let's maybe just use that. But let's say the Vikings have a pretty high pick. How high of a pick do they need to go quarterback?
It's going to have to be pretty high, because even the teams, that quote unquote have a quarterback, the both New York teams, Daniel Jones and the Giants, Sam Darnold with the Jets, if a generational talent like Trevor Lawrence is available to them, they are going to take them. And now after that, it's not as unanimous as far as the future prospects. But you would think, even with other teams, QB-needy teams, probably trading a lot to draft up for certain guys they like, you would think they'd have to be in that 5, 6, 7 range to get one of those top 3 quarterbacks. Of course, me personally being the NDSU alum, I'm rooting for Trey Lance in purple, but that my opinion might be a little skewed by my alma mater.
Well,
but it might take that 4-12 record or worse to get in there, because right now there are 10 teams with 1 win or less.
So there's other people throwing around Trey Lance, too. I mean, we've been throwing around. I know you're a Bison faithful. Here's a big question. And Rick Spielman put together this organization. I felt like the Vikings were advancing. I really did. And the wheels have kind of fallen off here. Zimmer has had success. We know that. Should Rick Spielman and Mike Zimmer be in charge of this Vikings comeback?
Yeah, that's the tough question, because there are plenty of places you can point to for both guys where they've just out and out failed. I mean, the Ngakoue move was basically waving the white flag on, well, we made a move for Hunter. But you can also see the reasoning behind most of the moves that Spielman makes. You thought you had an opportunity they knew they were going to have the young secondary. They thought pairing Danielle Hunter with Yannick Ngakoue would be a great 1-2 pairing, get to the quarterback a lot so that there isn't as much pressure on the cornerbacks. Of course, those two never played a snap together because this is the Vikings and things like that happen with the injuries. So it's really tough for me to say, but I would be a little more assured of my future if I was Rick Spielman compared to Zimmer, because usually GMs don't get free will to kind of blow things up the way it appears that the Vikings are going to. I'd be surprised if the Ngakoue trade is the last one they made before the deadline. I think you usually can't make those kind of moves and kind of start doing a fire sale if you don't have the backing of ownership to kind of go forward. And Spielman said in his press conference today that he's in constant communication with ownership. Zimmer, that's a little trickier. I don't know if he's been kind of, his message has been kind of worn out, if he's too old school, he hasn't adapted as much, and those are definitely fair criticisms of him. But again, you have to be sure that the next guy up is going to be good. I mean, look what Dallas is dealing with Mike McCarthy. They thought, anyone's going to be better than Jason Garrett, and now they're already kind of revolting against them the way it sounds. So it's really tricky for me to say, and I could see both ways. Again, I'd probably be a little more happy about my job security if I was Spielman, just because it looks like he has the backing of ownership.
Okay, so Vikings trying to get some draft picks. That's what they're trying to do. They gave up a second round to get Ngakoue. Now they get a third round for him. So they kind of messed that one up. It is what it is.
Yep.
Now, is Riley Reiff, is he going to be gone? And then I look at it. Anthony Harris, Harrison Smith. I mean, are we talking about these guys?
Well, I think the first two you mentioned definitely have to be involved. I would almost be surprised if Riley Reiff isn't dealt, because now he has a friendlier contract. There are a couple needy teams that are in contention. I mean, the Tennessee Titans just lost Lewan for the season, their left tackle, and Reiff has been playing well. That'd be a place. Even Dallas, as terrible as they've been this year, they're still in contention because they play in the NFC East. They're down a left tackle as well. It just seems like there are too many places where they'd fit well, that Reiff would still be. Then it gives the Vikings an opportunity to shuffle around that offensive line, see what they have with all these young players. I mean, Ezra Cleveland was drafted to hopefully be his replacement. Not ideal to thrust him in the starting lineup right away, but I think he'd be much better suited to be a tackle than the right guard they lined him up at last week. So it's Reiff and Harris, just because I don't think they're going to give him a long-term extension. That's why they gave him the franchise tag this year. If they can get any kind of value for him before he leaves, probably as a free agent, I think that'd be a good move, just because they do have I just don't think they'll deal both safeties, but right now with the team the way they are, anything's on the table. It wouldn't completely shock me. I wouldn't agree with getting rid of both safeties, but I think the top two that you mentioned, Reiff and Harris, are definitely on the trading block.
It's wild what's happened on this Thursday. The Vikings are kind of just in fire sale mode, so to speak, and now you have to try and get value, get some picks, because you're up against the cap. You got to try and improve this team for next year. So I'm going to ask you, Eric Thompson, before I let him run, DailyNorseman.com, can the Vikings be good next year? And I throw out, is Dantzler and Gladney, the two rookie corners, for example, I mean, are those guys going to get better?
Yeah, I mean, that's the question. I think they're going to get better. Just, you're going to have another year under the belt on these young defenders. But I don't know how much better it's going to be. Is it going to be playoff better? Is it going to be just fringe wild card? Is that for right now, that kind of seems like what the ceiling is, just because of the cap space that you mentioned, and the fact that they have a lot of that cap space eaten up by Kirk Cousins. And he just has shown, He can make it for a game. He can even stretch together 2 or 3 games, but he really can't be depended upon to string together a whole season unless he's surrounded by absolutely perfect talent. And he's not going to have that perfect talent on either side of the ball to help him out with the Vikings' current cap situation. So obviously, I don't think they're going to start next year 1-5, but it's going to be tough sledding going forward just with the situation they're in.
Okay, last one, a real quick one. I feel like they maybe jumped the gun here. I know they're 1-5, I know, but I had Vikings fans tell me yesterday, like, hey, we were in this game, we were in that game, okay. Did they jump the gun? Was it partly Ngakoue didn't want to be there anymore? How much of a factor was that?
I don't know how much Ngakwe's personal opinion swayed that one way or the other. I just think they probably saw Spielman has, throughout his tenure with the Vikings, has always been someone that has given. He'll take an opportunity when it's there. Obviously, you're dropping. The net draft picks. I think the Vikings are going to end up dropping probably around 50 picks between the 2 Ngakoue trades. But that might be the best of what they can get, especially with the guy that was going to have to be re-signed. He's a good, not great defensive end, in my opinion. He played well. He had 5 sacks. Some of those sacks were kind of coverage sacks, or just opportunistic. So it's tough. I can't give you exactly a clear answer on that one, because I really don't see exactly the reasoning behind some of it.
Yeah, you're in this no man's land. Should you try and compete? Should you not? The Vikings are kind of going the other way, trying to get some value. Eric Thompson, for all the coverage, DailyNorseman.com. Eric, you can find him on Twitter as well. Eric Thompson covers the Vikings. Eric, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, Nate. Thanks for having me on.
Great stuff. Always appreciate having him on. From the Twin Cities, Eric Thompson, Vikings writer, DailyNorseman.com. So that's why I say the Vikings fans deserve better than all of a sudden the wheels fall off and now we're mailing it in. But then there's going to be a section of Vikings fans that say, no, I mean, this is smart. Vikings are 1-5. Got to get something for these guys. Send in Ngakoue, get a 3rd-round pick. Well, you gave up a 2nd round to get him for 6 games. Well, you got to get rid of Riley Reiff now. Maybe a little bit of value there for the offensive lineman. Here's the big thing. Vikings are still bad at offensive line. They're not good in the secondary at all. At all. And the quarterback, who I've tried to give a 7 or 8 to most of the time, 7 or 8, Kirk Cousins. I'm not a Cousins hater. But the quarterback scenario is dicey. I mean, it's just dicey because he needs the system and he needs a game to go the certain way for the Vikings to be really good. He can't create, he can't do this and that. It's limited. So there's the Vikings, and now they're in rebuild mode all of a sudden on a Thursday, a sleepy Thursday in October, and it's just going to get colder and darker in Minnesota. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I mean, this is tough today. This is tough. Listener text coming in. Hey, Nate, Justin Jefferson is greater than Jerry Jeudy. What? It looks that way, potentially. But it seems like Judy's in a little better spot, a little more trending up for the Broncos wide receiver, the 2 rookie wide receivers. Justin Jefferson's looked good. That's it. Great wide receivers, great running back. The Vikings are good there, I think. What about Kyle Rudolph? Do you try and get rid of him? The tight end. Gave him quite a bit of money, right? I mean, they were handing out a lot of money, the Vikings were. A lot of money to some guys. And I don't know if that was always the best. Do you get rid of Kyle Rudolph? Vikings, stay tuned. It's tough stuff in Minnesota right now. 1-5, and Danielle Hunter goes to the injured reserve. He's out with a herniated disc. Ngakoue is gone to the Ravens. And I don't know what's going to happen in Minnesota now. They're just going to have to see how the season plays out. I hate the term tanking. I know fans are like, well, this season's gone, so let's tank. You can't tank. No tanking. You can't tank. Coming right back with a great player for the Rapid City Rush, a longtime captain for the Rush. His first time on this show. He's got some big news and something you can help with next.
From high school to college to the pros, this is the Nate Brown Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair is your local hail damage repair specialist with over 20 years of experience restoring cars to their pre-hail condition. Don't lose 30% of your resale value by having a body shop repaint it. Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair offers better resale value, has quick turnaround, and includes a lifetime guarantee on their work. The guys at Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair are trusted locals with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, offering free estimates and are conveniently located downtown. Remember them when it hails.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. A winter storm watch begins at noon Saturday and continues until noon Sunday. Chance of snow tonight, otherwise cloudy. Lows level off around 16. Northerly winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. High of 31 tomorrow. 22 tomorrow night. Chance for snow. 2 to 4 inches of snow tonight through Saturday night. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 26.
Physical therapy, athletic training, and sports science all at one place. Physio in Rapid City. Dr. Dan Jensen and his team at Physio are ready to help you perform at your best. From the youth athlete to the active adult, trust the team at Physio. Physio offers the skilled, personalized approach to physical therapy and athletic training, building the best athletes in the Black Hills as the official strength and conditioning provider for Stevens, Central, and the Rapid City Rush. Learn more at bhphysio.com.
6 o'clock this evening, Thursday, October 22nd, McPherson Auction Company begins to close a huge auction of all kinds of items at the former Kirk Power Plant in Lead. Can-Am Renegade Sport ATV, sporting goods, collectibles, tools, power tools, outdoor items, motorcycles, home furnishings, industrial items, automotive items, lawn and garden, unique items of all kinds, something for everyone. Auction preview 3 till 4:30 this afternoon. Internet auction begins to close at 6 this evening. Online bidding and details now at McPhersonAuction.com.
The next time you're wondering, where should I go for a great lunch or dinner? The place you need to put on your list is Zamerik's Noodle Cafe. Zamerik's has so many great noodle and rice bowls to choose from, made from the freshest ingredients, and prepared just the way you like it. Plus, your kids will absolutely love the mac and cheese bowls at Zamerik's. Whether it's a quick lunch to go or dinner with the family, Zamerik's is a great choice. Affordable, fresh, and something tasty for everybody. That's Zamerik's Noodle Cafe on West Main in Rapid City.
You go with what works. You trust your experience and make decisions based on proven results. That's why ag producers like you have chosen Dakota Bank for over half a century and made us one of the nation's largest ag lenders. We're confident you'll like our combination of personal care, understanding, and local decision making. Dakota Bank is here for you with banking, insurance, mortgage, and trust. How can we help you today?
Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC. Trust and insurance are not FDIC insured.
Hey, it's Nate Brown for the Man Salon. Guys, we're all working hard. Some of us are stressed. We all need a little relaxation. That's where you go to the Man Salon. Get the full treatment. Great haircut, shampoo, head, shoulder massage, hot towel, in your own station. There's no place like it in Rapid City. And their stylists are wearing masks. So if you want to relax, get a great experience, you want the Man Salon on West Main or at Rushmore Crossing. Book your next appointment online at themansalon.net.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hey, thanks for being a part of the program. We appreciate it. Rapid City Sports Talk Show live, local 4 to 6 on Fox Sports Rapid City, 106.7 FM, 1150 AM. Also streaming all the time with video now on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter at Nate Sports Guy. You can come right into the studio that way. Welcome you in there. Our YouTube channel, you can search Nate Brown Show. Nate Brown Show on YouTube. Subscribe there. It's free. You have a subscription to us, and you'll stay plugged in on the Nate Brown Show. The biggest national guests and the local sports newsmakers, all right here on Fox Sports Rapid City. Ephraim Salam's coming up tonight, NFL veteran, 13 years in the NFL, and now a national host on Fox Sports Radio and NFL analyst for FS1. We'll talk to Ephraim Salam, one of our favorite guests. We'll go Broncos Chiefs Inside with Ryan O'Halloran, Broncos beat writer for the Denver Post. He's on the way with a preview. Well, this guy, you know him, right? You know this guy. Longest tenured captain in Rush history. Okay? He was a captain a long time for the Rush. Had a great career for the Rapid City Rush. He's still in hockey. He's still doing a lot of hockey, as a matter of fact, and now he's doing something to help out a hockey player, and we hope you can help out a little bit. This is Scott Ray joining us, former Rush captain, who joins us on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Scott, it's good to talk to you. How are you?
No, it's good to be here. Thanks for the good intro.
Well, I appreciate your time. We'll get into this whole thing, but you were a longtime player for the Rush, a captain. You scored a lot of goals here. Everybody knows your background. What have you been doing, I guess, since you've left the Rush here? I know you're coaching now, but what's your hockey journey been like?
Well, it's been a good journey. I came home about 5-6 years ago, and just different scenery, I guess you could say, in the hockey world. And I coached at the Tier 2 Junior A level, and that's sort of equivalent to the NAHL that is in the United States. And I was there 3 years. We were fortunate enough to win a championship my third year there, and then I moved up to the Ontario Hockey League, which is the mecca of junior hockey in Canada. There's the Ontario Hockey League, the Western Hockey League, and the Quebec League forms the CHL, the Canadian Hockey League. So I'm fortunate enough to be an assistant coach for the North Bay Battalion, and I've been there 3 years now, and we're waiting, like everybody in the hockey world right now, to try to get back to work because of COVID. And but it's been fantastic. My boys have played some serious hockey here, and they've got to live what I lived as my childhood, and it's been pretty cool to see.
Okay, I want to ask you, Scott. You played a lot of hockey. What is it with you guys? You just want to play, and then when you can't play, okay, now I got to coach. You just can't get out of this game, right?
No, I think I'm a lifer. It's one of those things that's in your blood, and if I wasn't coaching, I would have quit a long time ago. And it's one of those things. When I went to Rapid, I played for Coach Barris there, and I knew it was something I wanted to do when I was done playing, and I love it. It's so much fun going to the rink and seeing. I work with 16 to 21-year-olds every day, and it's a hoot. It's so much fun just seeing them develop, seeing them grow as men, and I was there once too. So they think they could pull the wool over your eyes, but it's funny because you've been there. So it's a nice contrast where I think back in the day, the coaches were never there before. They were always just maybe a gym teacher that turned coach, or the old school way where they never played the game. And now I think if you look at it, the new guard is everybody's played the game. Now every NHL GM is almost or every new NHL GM is an ex-player, and the coaching staff as well. So it goes hand in hand. So
you're coaching junior hockey. Do you want to stay at this youth level? Do you? I know your son's playing, right? So that's a big thing. But do you want to go and do more, or do you like this? I know guys that say, "Hey, I like coaching high schoolers, or I like coaching this level. That's what I want to do."
Well, you see, like the NCAA coaches stay for 30 years. It's one of those things that you get a new cycle of kids every 4 years, and it's a lot of fun. I don't have any thoughts right now of moving on. I want to stay in North Bay, and I want to be here for a long time. And we know we got a good team here. We know we got a great owner, so it's one of those things that don't come very often. So it's one of those things that I want to stay here and keep developing as a coach. And, maybe one day, but I honestly think my heart's in junior hockey.
We're talking a former Rush captain. This is Scott Ray. You know him. He longest tenured Rush captain in team history, 2010 to 2014. Second most games played, most goals in team history for the Rush. Scott Ray on the Nate Brown Show. He's now coaching there in North Bay, Ontario. Has a son on this team, and you've got a situation on your team. A kid, Noah Dugas, a teammate of your son's. He has a blood clot in his brain. It's a tough road. Talk about what's happened here with your team and what you're trying to do.
So Noah's a 13-year-old, 14-year-old now, and he was a teammate of my son's when we first moved back to Canada. And it's one of those things where he was an exceptional status type defenseman, and he got all the approvals to play up a level and up with a different age group, and then he decided to go play with his own age group because he's going to school with them, and it just seemed fit. So. Just recently, he got diagnosed with a blood clot in his brain. He had a massive stroke, and the hockey community's really rallied around him. I don't know if you've noticed, a lot of NHLers have done Twitter feeds for him or Instagram little feeds to just try to pump him up and get him in good spirits. And we're just trying to raise money. We're trying to raise money for the family because they got a long road ahead. He's in a rehabilitation center right now, and and that's not cheap. So we're just trying. I'm trying any which way I knew how to do it. They're selling T-shirts locally. They're doing raffles locally. They're doing car washes. They're doing everything. No stone unturned for the young man, and. I think if anything happened to anybody else in the community, that it would happen that way too. Anybody would, help out any which way they can. And I thought no better way to try to raffle off one of my old jerseys and just get a little buzz in the hockey world in Rapid, because right now everybody's not knowing what's going to happen for next season, and maybe it's a good way to segue into the season.
Yeah, that's interesting. You talk about hockey, the NHL players, these guys, a brotherhood. This is all the way reaching to Rapid City Rush now. You haven't been here for a while, but people love you here, and you're saying, okay, how about this? I'm going to do a signed specialty jersey. We'll do a Zoom call with somebody. We can throw in a goalie mask. They've got some items in this raffle. So RapidCityRush.com is where fans want to go. We're here on Fox Sports Rapid City. Go to RapidCityRush.com. I just did that. You can buy some raffle tickets right there, and then you can get this good stuff that Scott Ray and the Rapid City Rush are offering. That's really what it's about. Is you're saying, hey, man, I had a great background here. Rapid City Rush fans, they know hockey world is tight, and they can help a kid they don't know, but boy, they know hockey's connected.
Well, for sure. And I think if you take your time and to look on social media and look at the different media feeds that are on Twitter right now, and like Connor McDavid and Austin Matthews and, the McKinnon, Crosby, the list goes on, that have sent them messages. And it's amazing. It's amazing what the hockey world does. And it's a small knit community. And, just like when we were in Rapid and we won it that year, it was one of the best things that happened to Rapid City, and it was early on in our careers, and we'll never forget it. And that's it touched a lot of people's lives, and especially my own.
Yeah. Scott Ray, former captain, now a coach at North Bay Battalion, a major junior hockey team there in the Ontario Hockey League. His son plays there, and a teammate's in need. A rough go for a young kid. And Scott Ray doing a raffle with the Rapid City Rush. Find out more and get your tickets. A little bit goes a long way to help out. RapidCityRush.com, where you want to go. Scott, I wish you the best. Wish you the best with your team. And Noah, I sure appreciate you coming on.
Well, I really appreciate it, and hopefully COVID calms down. And we had a 2-week trip planned to come back to the Black Hills this summer, so that's been wiped out, but hopefully we run into each other next summer.
Absolutely. Best of luck to you. Scott Ray here on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City, former Rapid City Rush captain. And, boy, those were some good years, right? Some good years with the Rush. Scott Ray, currently an assistant coach there, the Ontario Hockey League, and a 13-year-old kid, Noah Dugas. A blood clot in his brain, a stroke. It's a tough situation. When you have kids like me, many of you do, you can't imagine it. So they're trying to help out with a raffle with Scott Ray, a jersey, goalie mask. He's got a Zoom call set up. There's some good stuff there. The raffle's going to benefit, all of it, going to benefit that 13-year-old hockey player that Scott Ray is coaching there in Ontario and his family. RapidCityRush.com for the Scott Ray raffle to help out Noah Dugas. Coming right back into the Drive at 5, I've got two things I want to hit on this Thursday. Two big things. There is a team being thrown around in the NBA with the name of, will Becky Hammon be their coach? This is as in-depth as we've seen. This is an interesting connection. We'll get into that. Becky Hammon being thrown around for this NBA team. And baseball. Any big changes going to be kept for Major League Baseball? Well, one big change that they did this past season that's going on right now in the World Series, one big change that they did, they're going to pull it out. They're going to take it away. And this is the one thing I liked. That's on the way.
Your sports, your show. This is the Nate Brown Show on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
At Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well-maintained tire and speed shop, over-the-top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
Attributes of a trust is that you get to say how you want things to happen.
I think that is one thing we set ourselves apart in, is really getting to know people.
We get really involved with people as far as what their needs are and what their family is like.
In the end, it's all about our clients, our customers. It's about how we can make things best for them. They aren't a number, they're a person. Pioneer Bank and Trust is local.
For most of us, our home is our biggest investment, and an investment in Renewal by Andersen windows or patio doors will pay you back every single day in many ways. Renewal by Andersen in this part of America is a local family business. Our owner, Andy, grew up on a ranch. It's been in his family for over 100 years, and Andy was taught as a kid to do what's right. That's what we do at Renewal by Andersen every single day. Our windows and patio doors are installed by certified master installers. They are great local people who truly care about that perfect fit and finish. Our windows and patio doors are not only energy efficient, they keep your home quieter and more comfortable, and they are so easy to open, close, and clean. You will feel the difference every day. Please visit our website at rbarapidcity.com or give us a call at 605-593-5991. That's 605-593-5991. Renewal by Andersen. Ask about our great financing offers right now.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City. This is the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
For nearly 100 years, Connex has been providing the know-how and materials to help their neighbors grow. Through partnerships with builders, homeowners, and contractors, Connect Home Centers have impacted our communities, making them stronger and safer through support of local organizations and neighborhood beautification projects. Improving the quality of life for others is important to us. We are Connect Home Center, your hometown lumberyard lending a helping hand in building our communities since 1928.
At Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, we are here to help you make your comeback. Our team is standing by to diagnose and treat your injury with some of the most advanced treatment options available and same-day appointments. Monument Health practitioners work closely with our therapists and physicians in communities throughout the Black Hills, with locations in Rapid City and Spearfish. Visit monument.health/orthopedics for more information. That's monument.health/orthopedics for more information.
This is the story of Ted. Ted didn't play the lotto with everyone else at the office. Jackpot? Ha! Ted laughed. Sure, it's fun to dream, but you're never gonna win. Until they did. Guess who still works at the office? Ted. Guess who doesn't? Everyone else. Don't be a Ted. You've got a lot to win. Give yourself a chance. Play lotto games from the South Dakota Lottery today. Good fun. Must be 18 to play. Please play responsibly.
Hey
Hey, Rapid City, it's Doug Gottlieb. Join me weekdays from 1 to 4 right here on 106.7 FM and 11:50 a.m. Fox Sports Rapid City. And now let's get you back to the Nate Brown Show, Rapid City's sports talk show.
Hey, what's happening on this Thursday? What's happening? Hope you're doing all right. It's always a great day in the Black Hills. Keep saying it, you'll believe it. Keep saying it, you'll believe it as you drive around. As we experience the Winter Storm Watch coming in, right? Winter Storm Watch. Winter Storm Watch. I'm watching the winter storm in some of the Black Hills, but a Winter Storm Watch fully in effect right now for a large portion of the listening area. The Nate Brown Show's live on a Thursday on Fox Sports Rapid City. Always glad you're part of the program. 106.7 FM, 11:50 a.m. Also streaming there, foxsportsrapidcity.com with the audio. And now the brand new YouTube channel. Welcome you into the studio, saying hi to everybody there watching it. Nate Brown Show on YouTube. You can search that. Subscribe. We'd appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter, @NateSportsGuy, where you'll find me there, @NateSportsGuy. All right, Ephraim Salam's coming up. Great guest, always lively. Ephraim Salam, NFL veteran, 13-year offensive lineman, now with Fox Sports Radio. You hear him every weekend here breaking down NFL action. Also NFL analyst on FS1. Ephraim Salam is next. And then some inside stuff with Ryan O'Halloran of the Broncos beat writer for the Denver Post. We'll preview some Broncos Chiefs later this hour as well. 720-1067 is our number. You can call and be a part of the show, 720-1067. And the Barron's Wilson text line ready to go. Direct text the show, 720-1067. Direct text the show. We'll read those texts over the air, like this one. Listener text coming in earlier today. As I was saying, I don't know what the Ohio State-Nebraska game's going to look like. Ohio State's a 26-point favorite. I'm having a real tough time with it. I don't know who's going to show up for Nebraska, meaning, is it going to be the 2018 team with true freshman Adrian Martinez, who almost he was very competitive at Ohio State 2 years ago, or is it going to be last year, where they just got manhandled? I mean, they got destroyed there in Lincoln last year. So I don't know about that one. Ohio State, Nebraska, 26-point favorites are the Buckeyes. Tough. Listener text, Nate, you sold your soul when you started to root for Nebraska. They're going to lose by 40. Well, it's always a great day in the Black Hills, right? Even if you're a Nebraska fan, we shall see on Saturday. I'm excited about Big Ten football. I do think Michigan's going to beat the Gophers, so we'll see if I'm right on that one. I think Michigan's going to handle the Gophers. A lot of people going Gophers, thinking last year wasn't the flash in the pan, right? That P.J. Fleck and the guys are the team. I'm not so sure. There's no way Harbaugh and Michigan's going to lose to Minnesota, right? They haven't fallen that far, correct? The Wolverines? We'll see. Let's get into this. World Series tied 1-1, okay? World Series tied 1-1. You know what I'm liking about this past season, which I thought we were going to continue to move into next season, was what? The universal DH. Is there anybody out there tonight against the DH in the American League and the DH in the National League? Anybody? No? Okay, we've solved it. Let's have the universal DH, the designated hitter. Let's not make this just the one-year thing that we did this year. Let's make it an every-year thing, right? This just came out this afternoon. Major League Baseball is going to go back to pitchers hitting in the National League next year. Why? Just make it happen. I don't understand. This isn't, the collective bargaining agreement with the players, that's coming up in 2021, at the end of next year. Then they might bring it back. It's like, guys, let's cut through the red tape, all the negotiations, the bull, the nonsense with the owners, the players, the league. Oh, the players like the universal DH, but, maybe we don't want to give it to them because then we might do something else to negotiate a little bit. That's what this is about. This is just being reported today by Lavelle Neal of the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. He was first on it saying Many people like the universal designated hitter in baseball this year, but they're not going to continue it next year. And it is because it's going to be a topic of many negotiations after the CBA, the collective bargaining agreement, ends next season. We just can't make anything easy. The universal DH is the deal. That's the deal. Everybody likes it. Players, fans, owners, it's offense. It's nobody wants to see John Lester try and hit. Okay? As a Cubs fan, I don't know if I'm going to see Lester much anymore anyway, but nobody wants to see we don't want to see that. But keep in mind, I thought that was going to continue easy. I thought that anything's easy in baseball. That's it. Any change in baseball's easy. That's it, right? And that's not going to continue. So next year, you're going to go back to the way it was. National League pitchers are hitting and trying to run and whatever else. Maybe we'll try and get the universal DH back after 2021. I did want to ask you this question of the day, so sound off for me. Sound off for me. Question of the day with Major League Baseball, okay? What major change would you most like to see Major League Baseball make moving forward? A lot of votes right now. And it's tight. It's tight. I gave you 3 options. I did not do the universal DH. Just get that out. Just put it in. Permanent. That's it. That's an easy answer. Everybody wants that, okay? We determined that here on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Universal DH, solid. But what about these changes? What major change would you most like to see Major League Baseball make moving forward? Automated strike zones. What's that? The old robot umps? Well, just get ready. I'm fired up today. Automated strike zone. The pitch clock. A pitch clock, yes, like 15 seconds. Let's speed it up. A little sense of urgency, a little intensity, right? Or the expanded playoff field, like where you're getting in over half of the teams like we did this year. What's your vote? 720-1067. You can join me. I'll invite you in here a few minutes before we get to Ephraim Salam coming up. How about this vote? What major change would you most like to see Major League Baseball make moving forward? Automated strike zone, pitch clock, or the expanded playoff field? Here it is. 36% of you right now, number one is automated strike zone. 34% of you saying pitch clock, that comes in at second. And 29% of you saying expanded playoff field. It's like a third across the board. Listener text coming in. Pitch clock, for the love of God. Okay. Yes. Okay. My answer. You're not going to get me yet with the automated strike zone. You're not going to get me yet with that. You're just not. We're not into the robot umps. Let's just get through this COVID mess, and then we can start, changing things even more and getting caught up to flying cars and robot umps, okay? When we're dealing with pandemics, when we can solve the viruses, then we can go to the robot umps and the flying cars. But we're not there yet. So you're not going to get me with the automated strike zone. I'm going pitch clock. Pitch clock. I like the human element in baseball. You can shoot me over it, but I like the human element in baseball. It's, what do you say? Part of the game. It's part of the game. Umps yelling at managers getting kicked out. That's what we go to the games for, stuff like that, right? That's what we go to the games for. Let's see. Hang tight here. Let's see. Important note, if the universal DH is implemented, pitchers still have the option to hit. If you have a guy like Michael Lorenzen with the Reds, a pitcher who also hits dingers, they can opt into the hitting lineup. Interesting. I don't want my pitchers hitting. Not even Michael. Have you seen Kyle Hendricks hit for the Cubs? Let's take a call. Thanks for getting in. You're live, and you go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Nate. I appreciate it, man. Hey, I got to go against you here on this one with the automatic, the digital umpires. I mean, You know, there's nothing more infuriating than when you're watching this game and they throw a clear ball outside the strike zone. They already have it on the TV, the little box, everything. They throw a clear ball and I'm like, strike. You're like, hold on a second, what's going on here? What? You know, and then you still need to have an umpire in there, I think, for the bases and that. But I think if you just had at least a little chime in their ear that says, you know, boop. Green, go for strike or
you're with it. You're with it, huh? You're with it. You don't want Joe West. You don't want to leave it up to Joe West anymore, or?
No, man. In fact, I think a lot of the umpires are what is taking away the game from the youngsters, from the kids. Man, it's out of hand. They're already doing it digitally in almost every sport.
But you got to be careful with that. You got to be careful with that box because it doesn't change for tall guys, short guys. I mean, it's easier said than done. I do believe that.
You know, that's a good point. I think the size of the batter does need to it does need to be able to be adjustable. But I mean, we live in 2020. People are using computers every day. I think we can use computers in baseball and make it a better game. As far as the pitch clock goes, you know,
are you
if
with
it's
me
a
there?
good game, I'm gonna watch it no matter what. If it's a good game, I'm gonna watch it. If it's a bad game, I'm not gonna watch it. It doesn't matter as far as the time on it goes. It none of that matters. It's just if it's a good game, if it's interesting, I'm gonna watch it. But what's most infuriating is when that ball is an obvious ball, and the ump's like strike, and like, oh come on, man, didn't you see it in the box?
I like you as a sports fan. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Thanks for getting in. He's saying I'm watching baseball. That's what he's saying. I'm watching baseball, right? Automated strike zone. Here come the robot umps. 36% of you saying automated strike zone. 33% saying pitch clock now. 31% expanding the playoffs is what you want. Look at that. Across the board. What major change you want to see Major League Baseball make? Thanks for calling. One more call tonight. You're live and you go ahead.
Hey, Nate. What was the reason they implemented the instant replay for?
What for? What for? What like home runs? Yeah.
No. You know, in baseball or football, to get the call right, correct?
Yeah, usually, yeah.
They want to make sure that they have the correct call. So why is that not applicable with balls and strikes?
Because I want to make sure your box is right. You better have that robot right. You better have it right.
Well, I tell you what, Nate. You watch the game tomorrow night. I'm going to keep track. You're going to keep track, and we're going to see who gets how many calls are missed. Okay?
No, that's too much work.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to bet they miss at least 10 calls, at least.
Oh, and it's going to change the game. It's going to change the game, isn't it? It's just going to end the game.
Well, I think it could easily change the game. Yeah.
No, I don't think it's going to change the outcome of the game. You know, we kind of pick
you got a lot of riding on that game there.
All right. Thanks,
Ball
man.
4, strike 3.
We'll keep a track tomorrow. All right. See you later. I can't keep track of every pitch. It's part of the game. We don't get everything right. It's just like pass interference in the NFL. You know, you guys tried doing instant replay there. How'd that work out? It didn't. It's subjective. Now, strikes, balls, kind of subjective. I mean, but you're supposed to, it's supposed to be at the letters, waist, it can't be below the knee. So you got some rules, just like you do in pass interference. You got some regulations there. It happens. Before we get to, robot umps, let's get to flying cars first. Coming right back with Ephraim Salaam, breaking down the NFL with a veteran in the league for 13 years. A lot to get to next.
The Nate Brown Show.
Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair is your local hail damage repair specialist with over 20 years of experience restoring cars to their pre-hail condition. Don't lose 30% of your resale value by having a body shop repaint it. Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair offers better resale value, has quick turnaround, and includes a lifetime guarantee on their work. The guys at Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair are trusted locals with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, offering free estimates and are conveniently located downtown. Remember them when it hails.
At Terrell Tires and the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well-maintained tire and speed shop, over-the-top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires and the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
All in the great outdoors for lasting family memories with a new or pre-owned RV from Dakota Discount RV. We make your RV experience fun and easy by providing you with a quality recreational vehicle, competitive pricing, and professional sales and service. Our large inventory of fifth-wheelers, travel trailers, toy haulers, and live-in horse trailers allows us to save our customers thousands of dollars compared to most dealers. Stop by and see us at Dakota Discount RV, 3330 East Mall Drive across from Cabela's and on JB Road, Blackhawk.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales Service and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
Oh, it's a fun night tonight. Fun night tonight. Thanks for being a part of the show. Rapid City Sports Talk Show live on Fox Sports Rapid City. The Nate Brown Show here. Ryan O'Halloran's coming up from Denver. Broncos beat writer for the Denver Post. He is on the way. We'll break down Broncos Chiefs. That would be monumental if the Broncos somehow won in Denver Sunday. I mean, that would be absolutely monumental. Broncos 9.5-point underdogs. What do I have here? Listener text, hey, Nate, Nebraska won't score a point against Ohio State. Wow. Come on. Take it easy on the Huskers. Nebraska won't score a point against Ohio State? Oh, that's wrong. That's wrong. You're just trying to fire up the Huskers. And the Eddie says, go Irish. Go Irish. And they got their hands full with Pitt. Believe that. Here's Ephraim Salaam, NFL veteran, played in the league a long time. Fox Sports Radio host. You hear him on the weekends, breaks it down, the NFL and more. Also on FS1. Ephraim Salaam back on the Nate Brown Show. Ephraim, how are you tonight?
I'm great, brother. How you doing?
We're doing good. I've got a question of the day I want your take on. This is baseball, and then we'll get to football. I know that's your expertise, but you rant and rave about a lot of stuff, so I want to know. What change would you most like to see Major League Baseball make moving forward if there were three options? I've got three. Automated strike zone, the pitch clock, or the expanded playoff field where, like half these teams get in like we did this year. Strike zone, automated, pitch clock, or expanded playoff field?
The strike zone. Automated strike zone.
Oh! You think we're going to get that right every time? I mean, you're a tall guy. Your strike zone's different than Jose Altuve's.
Yeah, but it should calibrate.
Okay, that's
right?
What we need. Okay.
It should calibrate depending on the batter who's up. The strike zones aren't the same for Altuve and Judd.
Right. That is right. That's what I'm worried about.
So it should calibrate based on the actual batter.
What are we going to do? Sit in the box there, Ephraim, and then the computer's going to take a minority report scan of our bodies?
Let me tell you this. All the data from every player is uploaded prior to the game. So now it's a database. So it's not when that player is up, the information is already inputted.
There we go. This guy, I might start getting there. I'm not there. We don't have flying cars.
Just think about it. We can do it like the system they have in tennis to tell whether a ball is out or in is amazing. The system they have in soccer to tell or even hockey to tell whether a puck crosses the line or a ball crosses the line, it's amazing. So why not for baseball?
Well, you know why. It's the human element's part of sports. It's just part of sports.
And if you want to keep it, I'm okay with that as well. But when you ask me what change would I like to see, I like to see that because there were a couple of those calls last night that didn't go the Dodgers' way, they kind of really changed the game. A couple of those strikes that weren't actually strikes.
Oh,
you
boy.
know, so I look. Hey, look. I'm a fan. I watch. I'm noticing things, right? And it goes. Look. And I'm not just saying it was because of the Dodgers or whatever it is. You can see it on both sides, right? Human error is human error. I get it, right? The same reason why I think they should have a system of going across the goal line in the NFL whenever the ball crosses the plane.
Well, here's the
you
deal.
Know how much
here's the
time that would save.
I say this though. Some things are subjective, like pass interference. We tried that; it didn't work out. You can't legislate
I'm not talking
everything.
about that. That's fine. I'm talking about when you reach the ball over the goal line, there should be a notification, so you don't have to review every single scoring play.
I got you on that.
You get it?
I got you.
You know
I
what
got
I mean?
You. Yes.
Like if it's 4th and goal at the 1, and you run and he's in the pile, you're not quite sure if the running back extended the ball over the right. Like we should be able to know that.
Yes, if they can have GPS in golf balls like on my golf course, we should be able to have football getting across the line or not. Interesting. So you go automated strike zone. Okay. I say pitch clock. I want to get this thing moving. In a little sense of urgency. Let's get it going. Ephraim, let me ask you about this. Broncos Chiefs Sunday. Big underdog Broncos at home, 9.5 points. What type of win would that be if the Broncos somehow pulled it off?
It would be huge. And look, it is not out of the realm of reality or chance that the Broncos can pull that off. The thing about football is you have great teams and you have good teams. But we've seen the Kansas City Chiefs run into trouble. We've seen them slow down, and including last game, the lack of scoring, not scoring touchdowns in the red zone. Last year they were, I think, almost upwards of 80% in the red zone. This year, not so much. So, playing in the altitude, it's a divisional game. It's intense. You're ready to go. And if the Denver Broncos can continue to run the ball with Lindsey like they did last week, they'll have a better chance of keeping that offense off the field.
Going to be cold in Denver. Going to be in the teens, potentially, in Denver on Sunday. Ephraim Salaam joins us here. I'm right here on Fox Sports Rapid City on the weekends. Does a great job. I enjoy listening. I want to go to this. Vikings are 1-5. They're just totally fallen off the map. The Vikings are 1-5. Yannick Ngakoue, they picked him up from the Jaguars for 6 games. Now they traded him because it's basically like, okay, season's over. When do you decide, from when you're in that locker room, you're 1-5, and now you're trading away Ngakoue? Danielle Hunter just went on injured reserve, so he's done. When do you decide as a GM, okay, I'm not going to lose this team, but we got to make some moves here? It's basically, I don't think it's tanking. I hate that term, but it sure seems that way.
Well, you always have to be proactive as a GM. Right, no matter how good or how bad your season is going, excuse me, you always have to find ways to make your team better. We just saw it with Kansas City. They got better. They got Le'Veon Bell, right? Now they already had a reliable running game. Now they're better. They don't always have to depend on Patrick Mahomes, throwing the ball for 400 yards a game. They completely changed their offense this past game and had ball control, right? They went out and got another top-level running back, so for the long haul. So in terms of Minnesota, you always have to be getting better, right? If you don't feel your team is where it needs to be and at 1-5, how could you possibly feel that way? You have to start thinking, okay, what do I need to do to, number one, change the outcome or prepare for the changing of the outcome for next year?
It's tough for fans to take, right? I mean, how do you think players deal? How do you think players deal with that?
I mean, look, it's for players. Look, number one, we're getting paid. Okay, we're getting paid. We're compensated very well. We also know it's part of the business. there'll be times where you're on a playoff team. There'll be times where you're not. What you want to do is you don't want to regress as a player. You want to continue to get better, so when the tide changes, then you'll be playing at your best. So you use all of this to get yourself ready and create value for yourself. Because when change like this happens, coaches and GMs are trying to see the value they have. Who's actually playing? Yeah, our season may, technically be over, but I want to see the guy who's coming to work every day, who's showing up in the game every day. So as players, we compartmentalize things like that. Look, we're not having a good year, but I want to have a good year because this means a lot to me individually.
Great perspective. Ephraim Salaam, he was a player, longtime veteran on the O-line. In the NFL, Fox Sports Radio host. One more quick one. Do you think Aaron Rodgers and the Packers bounce back in a big way after that sleeper there against Tampa Bay?
Well, of course, and I think they have the talent and the capabilities of doing that. Whenever you have a top-tier quarterback with those offensive weapons that he has, the defense had a little bit of a lapse, but I think just the protection and the constant pressure on Brady was they weren't prepared for that, and they were exposed. And Tampa Bay did a great job getting after him. They have one of the top defenses in the league, but every opponent's not going to have that type of pressure. So yeah, you game plan and you get yourself back on track, and I think Green Bay will be able to do that coming up this weekend.
Will the Patriots? Last one. Will the Patriots?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, it still is the Patriots. Belichick is still there. I think Cam Newton not being there for 9-12 days, I think that hurt them, right? You got to remember, he's new to this. He's new to the offense. He's new to the system. So him not being able to continue to get better, that set him back a little bit. I think having that game and then going into a whole another full week of practice with those guys, with the new system, I think it'll bode well for them and they'll get back on track.
Great stuff. Ephraim Salaam, NFL veteran, Fox Sports Radio host on the weekends on Fox Sports Rapid City. Find him on Twitter at Ephraim Salaam. An easy follow there. Ephraim, always fun, man. Thanks for the time.
Absolutely. No problem, brother.
All right. Appreciate it. Ephraim Salaam on the Nate Brown Show on Fox Sports Rapid City. Always fun. I really like having him on. Really good stuff. Gives you from the NFL player's perspective. You don't get that very often. And now he can speak freely. It's not just player speak. He can give you the background, the inside the locker room, the analysis. Listener text coming in, 720-1067. Hey, Nate, I'm listening to you, and you're the one who just started it with Ephraim Salaam. Started what? What did we start? He said he wants the automated strike zone in baseball, and I don't want robot umps. I said, let's get to flying cars first. We were supposed to have flying cars by 2020. We have the coronavirus instead. Let's walk before we run. Thanks for calling. You're live tonight, and you go ahead.
Hi, Nate. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. What's up?
Well, why can't we have I kind of agree with Ethan. Why can't we have a deal on the goal line to tell whether the balls cross the plane or not?
That would be easy in the end. That would be easy. I don't know why they don't do that.
Well, and why do we still have a 1st and 10 chain gang? I mean, come on.
That's what I mean. We got to keep people employed. That's part of it, okay?
In the strike zone, it's supposed to be letters to knees. Well,
yes, letters to knees, yes.
If you're not going to call a ball above the waist, which they rarely do, then don't say the strike zone is the letters. I mean, when it's not. Nobody ever calls, at least in major leagues, nobody calls a strike above the waist.
What? Hey, are you telling me you want automated strike zone? You're a former ump. I know you. You want the automated strike zone.
I just want consistency. Either the strike zone is the letters to the knees, or it isn't. I mean, if you're not going to call a strike above the belt, then lower the strike zone. Then, and you have certain umpires that call, and they say, well, at least he's consistent. Well, if it's 2 inches outside, it's a ball. It's not because, well, I'm going to call that a strike every time, even though it's 2 inches outside. And you guys all know that, whoever the umpire is, what kind of what
yeah,
they
you
call
are
and what they
right.
don't
You
call.
are right. Umpires like kind of making it their show. I call this. I don't call that. You better make it this. You better. Okay, I understand. But I do like the banter. I do like the players and the umpires and the managers, the human element, the fans. I like the banter in the majors. I do like the banter. As long as my team doesn't get hosed by it. All right, man. Thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for getting in. See how easy that is? As long as my team's not affected, we're okay. Ryan O'Halloran is next. This is a busy show tonight. I've still got big news. An NBA team being thrown around for maybe the next stop for Becky Hammon. That was just posted today. We'll get into that coming up. First, Broncos-Chiefs. Broncos-Chiefs. Ryan O'Halloran, Broncos beat writer for the Denver Post. A straight shooter. Next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
At Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, we let our customers do the talking.
Very well-maintained tire and speed shop, over-the-top service, and very reasonably priced. Need I say more?
Scott and crew at Terrell Tires have always gone over and beyond for us. Great prices for great tires. Also, anytime we've needed odd-sized tires for ranch equipment, Scott gets us what we need.
Great customer service. Spent plenty of time answering all of our questions, and the truck looks awesome with the new rims.
Terrell Tires in the Speed Center, 105 North Campbell Street, Rapid City.
Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair is your local hail damage repair specialist with over 20 years of experience restoring cars to their pre-hail condition. Don't lose 30% of your resale value by having a body shop repaint it. Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair offers better resale value, has quick turnaround, and includes a lifetime guarantee on their work. The guys at Rapid City Paintless Dent Repair are trusted locals with an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, offering free estimates and are conveniently located downtown. Remember them when it hails.
Stress on your joints to get you moving better and feeling stronger. They also perform dry needling to reduce muscle tension and improve pain control. And their innovative Sports Metrics program helps athletes accelerate recovery time to get you back in the game at maximum performance. If you want to get back in the action, check out High Plains Physical Therapy Associates in their same location since opening at 614 East Boulevard in Rapid City. High Plains Physical Therapy Associates, where a pain-free day is dawning.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
What a show tonight. What a show. You're making it a lot of fun. I appreciate that on the Barron's Wilson text line. Some abuse and some fun, and we appreciate all of it. No, we're all nice here, right? I'm nice to you. You're nice to me. Most of the time. Most of the time. Direct text the show, 720-1067 on the Barron's Wilson text line, 720-1067. Listener text agreeing with me on the Major League Baseball change. I would like to see a pitch clock moving forward. I want the pitch clock. Listener text, we need the pitch clock for the love of God. I enjoy the banter between the players and umpires. No automated strike zone, please. Okay, good stuff. Thanks for that. 720-1067 on the Barron's Wilson text line. Let's talk Broncos-Chiefs. This guy's going to be covering it. Broncos are 9.5-point underdogs at home. At home. Ryan O'Halloran, Broncos beat writer, denverpost.com. Ryan, thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm good, Nate. Good to join you again.
Appreciate it. Let's look at this. 9.5-point dogs. Didn't really surprise me, Ryan, the Vegas number. But I just had Ephraim Salam on. He said, hey, it's not out of the realm of possibility Denver wins this. How monumental really would that be?
Well, let's put it this way. Since 1982, or 87, 1982, excuse me, Broncos have been this much of a home underdog 3 times.
Wow.
One was a replacement game. And 87 against the Raiders, they're a 10.5-point dog strike game. They won. And then 92 against the Cowboys, they lost. But 9.5 is a big number, especially the Broncos coming off 2 road wins, albeit against Jets, who are terrible, Patriots, who are struggling. But I think the Chiefs will win the game, but I don't think they're going to cover.
Interesting. So the Broncos could keep it tight. Let me get your feel on this. Is the Denver defense top 10? Is this a top 10 defense?
No, I don't think so. I mean, they're third in the league in red zone, so they do that well, but they did that well last year. to be a top 10 defense, you have to consistently produce takeaways. They have all their takeaways in 2 of their 5 games. You have to get consistent pressure on the quarterback. They haven't been able to do that just yet. They're starting to, but not there. So those are my 2 big reasons: takeaways and pressure. That is, once they start doing that, then you can start having that conversation. At least I think.
Ryan O'Halloran, Broncos beat writer, Denver Post, talking Broncos Chiefs. Andy Reid talked glowingly yesterday about the Broncos. Fangio Elway saying, hey, they're building this team. He likes Pat Shurmur. He coached with him. He said that he's a good one now. He's going to say stuff like that. I get it. But what do you think the Chiefs think of Denver?
Well, Andy Reid was going the Bill Belichick route and basically laying it on thick, so to speak. But the Chiefs, they're aware of what other teams do in the division during the offseason, and the Broncos' mandate was they have to add speed on offense to score more touchdowns and keep up with the Chiefs. Obviously, Kansas City got had their attention, but that just solidified it. So I think that's what Andy Reid's referring to is, hey, you can't beat them, try and build like them. And that's what the Broncos with 9 straight losses to the Chiefs have been trying to do. And we'll see on Sunday. I mean, this is the first big measuring stick for this Bronco team to see if they're headed in the right direction. And it comes against defending champs.
What type of grade would you give Drew Lock? I keep hearing conflicting reports. 10 at 24, that's no good. Well, there was a lot of drops. He moved them down the field. What's your grade of Drew Lock's play?
I mean, I charted him for 3 drops, which would have improved his numbers and given him maybe 1 or 2 more touchdowns. That said, anytime you throw 2 fourth-quarter interceptions with the lead, you don't deserve a good grade. So I would give him a C- or a D. I do like the fact he took some shots downfield in the first 3 quarters. He got a little greedy there at the end. But if you're Drew, you're like, okay, you made it through the game healthy, you won the game, and now you try and build on that second game out of injury. I expect him to be a little sharper early on. And one thing I would consider if I'm Shurmur, this team does not have a screen game at all. Get Philip Lindsay in the perimeter like that helps your pass pro, that helps your quarterback, especially against the Chiefs' edge rushers.
Let me ask you, what's the biggest problem the Broncos defense has facing Mahomes? I've seen Mahomes go off. Then this past week, the Bills kind of handled Mahomes, and then they ran it on him. So what do you do if you're the Broncos defense?
Well, you got to mix it up. I mean, Buffalo basically said they're going to play cover 2, go ahead and run it. Well, that's what they did, 46 times, most in Andy Reid's tenure. So I expect the Broncos to mix up their coverage a little bit. I would play base nickel because I don't want a linebacker on Travis Kelce. So that's my number 1 concern is Kelce, who covers him. And secondly, if Mahomes, remember 2 years ago in that Monday night game here at Mile High, the Broncos had a ton of disruptions of Mahomes. They couldn't get him down. So you have to tell Bradley Chubb and Malik Reed, hey, keep an eye on the edge. Don't let him out of the pocket, but also don't let up. You have to be able to get him off his spot because sometimes when he's throwing those wild angles, they don't always go where they're supposed to go.
Ryan O'Halloran, Broncos beat writer, Denver Post. I'll let him run with this as he covers the Broncos Chiefs Sunday, denverpost.com. Follow him on Twitter at Ryan O'Halloran. Broncos feel different right now, and I guess a win at New England does that for the fan base. I wonder what the teams kind of feel. First, it was, we have all these injuries. This is going to be a lost year. Does it feel different?
My cop-out answer is tough to say with no locker room, and because we're all just getting these guys on the Zooms, and on a week like this, I would go up to a bunch of guys saying, hey, what's the vibe? What was the message? How are the coaches handling this, et cetera, et cetera. From afar, 2 and 3 is whatever, but you got to win a game in the division over a team like the Chiefs. Even if you fall at 2 and 4, that makes the Chargers game the next week your biggest of the year to at least try and stay afloat a little bit. But I think from afar, the Broncos were relieved in one respect. They got to play a game. And then secondly, they won it. I think defensively, their confidence is growing because they've found a way to win 2 games, and now they're trying to get some of their guys back. I expect Boye to start at corner. I expect Draymond Jones to be activated, be a rotational pass rusher.
Is Fant in there as well, offensively?
Yep, he was full go today. Jake Butt was put on the injury report with a hamstring. Andrew Beck did not practice. So regardless, they're going to find a way to get Albert O in the game again this week. And as Pat Shurmur said today, you'll look for Fant and Albert to be on the field at the same time. That'd be interesting to watch for the Broncos just to see how the Chiefs react to that matchup.
That's an exciting game. I mean, I don't know how it's going to go. 9.5-point dogs in Denver. That doesn't happen very often, as Ryan O'Halloran points out. Broncos Chiefs Sunday afternoon. The Broncos are on that fine line, Ryan. It feels like from a win would be unbelievable, a loss, and look out potentially the old slippery slope. We'll see. Ryan, thanks for the time, man. I appreciate it.
Okay, Nate, last thing, pay attention to the weather here. It could be a high at 19 and snow at 225 on Sunday. That could be an equalizer.
Yeah, good stuff. Appreciate it. Enjoy the weather. Oh, he's up in his box, right? They give those Denver Post guys nice boxes. Broncos beat writer for the Denver Post, Ryan O'Halloran. Broncos aren't that much better shape than your Vikings, okay? I know I've been having a fun week. Broncos beat the Patriots. It's a lot of fun. You have to enjoy it, okay? So I've enjoyed it. I haven't rubbed anybody's faces in it except for the Patriots. If you're a Patriots fan, it's fine. It's fine. You guys have had plenty of success, right? Broncos
field and defense.
That is right.
Like even the guy they signed off the practice squad to fill an emergency spot at linebacker or safety or whatever his name is. I forget what his name was, but anyway, he's on IR now. So it's like they don't have anybody.
So your Vikings, what do you feel like? What do you feel like?
They're in total rebuild mode. Like the one thing they have going for them is their skill positions on offense, like running backs and wide receivers and tight ends.
Yes,
doing okay. And safety is locked down, like Harris and
but they might get rid of Harris. They might get rid of Anthony Harris.
I hope not. But okay. I mean, I would understand if they did. But
can you believe this? Though the rebuild mode came this quickly. I can't. I can't.
Okay. So one thing I will say, like I have a lot of respect for Spielman because the rebuild mode, like a lot of people would just drag it out for the season. No, we're good. To recognize it and just go for it. I respect that. So like a lot of Viking fans are like, we suck, we're terrible, and which we are right now. But I would rather like get a jump on the ball right now than just try and like pretend we're good for the rest of the season.
Yeah, that is a fine line. And the Broncos tried pretending they're good the last couple of years too. I mean, they really did.
And you know how well that's gone. So,
right.
Like, I'd rather not see that. So,
no, I get
it. And then as far as the strike zone thing, I sent you a text about it. But like, if you take the umps out from there, like you just think of all the things you could put behind there, like the mascots, be the same difference.
Come on. All right. Thanks, brother.
Have a good day, man.
I appreciate it. We're comparing umps to mascots. All right. Quick Thursday night. We got to do this. Who's hot and who's not? Becky Hammon could be connected to what NBA team? That's on the way.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, streaming live at FoxSportsRapidCity.com and right here on 106.7 FM and 1150 AM Fox Sports Rapid City.
Hi, this is Candy with Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda. Let's talk leases. First, they are super flexible. Lease for 2 to 5 years and tailor your mileage to what works for you and how you use your vehicle. The best part is when the lease ends. Let me rephrase. At the end of your lease, you have a guaranteed trade-in value, so no surprises, like owing more than the vehicle is worth. If you end up really loving your new Honda, you can buy it. It's kind of like a 2-year test drive. No buyer's remorse here, am I right? Check us out at Denny Menholt Rushmore Honda.
Here at Pizza Ranch, we appreciate innovations in food delivery, like how the ancient Italians used to slingshot hot meals to hungry Romans on the go. And while we appreciate the creativity, it turned out to be, a little messy. So, we found a better way to bring you our legendary pizza, the country's best chicken, and our one-of-a-kind cactus bread. Just place your order online, on the phone, or on our app, and then pick it up or have it delivered right to your door. All nicely packaged in clean, sturdy, non-flying boxes. No catching necessary. Pizza Ranch.
Broadcasting from the Anytime Auto Sales, Service, and Detail Studio. Sales, service, and side-by-sides. This is Fox Sports Rapid City.
All right, we made it count on a Thursday, right? We made it count tonight, man. Great show lined up. Great national guests across the board. Some local guests as well. Some picks from Brad Powers in Las Vegas. If you missed parts of this show, go to foxsportsrapidcity.com. The Nate Brown Show podcast is there. You can find us on YouTube now as well. Nate Brown Show. The archive will be posted tonight. YouTube, just search Nate Brown Show, and you can watch the show there. Who's hot and who's not, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. Let's send you to the Pizza Ranch this weekend. You know, that fried chicken ready to go. They'll deliver it to you. It's going to be a little snowy. Fried chicken, pizza, cactus bread loaded up for the games. I got Huskers, Ohio State. I got Broncos, Chiefs. I got Vikings. Oh, sorry. Vikings are on a bye. Maybe for the rest of the year. Who's hot and who's not, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch. Who's hot? Here it is. This was just posted by the Oklahoman. The Oklahoman saying that Oklahoma City, the Thunder in the NBA, could be looking at Becky Hammon for their new head coaching spot. The general manager is Sam Presti. He was with the San Antonio Spurs and worked with Popovich for a long time. Loved Popovich, the Spurs way. They think that could be a big connection. Oklahoma City has yet to say anything about it yet. They haven't said anything about the new head coach, the process, the whole thing. The Oklahoman pointing to Becky Hammon having a great shot to potentially be in there as the next head coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Keep your eye on that one. GM Sam Presti, a big connection with the Spurs, where Becky Hammon, of course, has a lot of respect. We'll keep an eye on that with Oklahoma City Thunder. It would be neat to see Rapid City's own Becky Hammon continuing to be in some headlines. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category tonight, it's easy. I found the Nate's News headline of the day. I love these headlines. They make you click on them. They want you to click on them. This was on a big sports website today. In our Who's Not category, it was, here's the headline. Here it is. How esports is revolutionizing sports broadcasting. That was on a real major sports website today. How esports is revolutionizing sports broadcasting. Well, I'll tell you, I've been in broadcasting a long time. I never thought esports would revolutionize my business. I better get back to the drawing board. Hey, have a good night, everybody. Stay warm. For Matt Kearney producing the show. Great stuff. It's Nate Brown.